We are live, and Brad Meltzer, best-selling author, New York Times #1 best-selling author of a long string of books. His newest one is The Inner Circle, and BradMeltzer.com is the website, and they've got their Secret Societies episode set to air on Thursday night on the History Channel. And I don't know how much of this we can get into, but I was bringing these points up to him during the break when we just got him on a few minutes ago. We got a lot to talk about. But Brad, tell us about the show. Tell us about why you guys contacted yours truly to be part of your Secret Society episode.
Yeah, listen, at the end of the day, we were going to do this episode we wanted to do on the Ultimate Secret Society. Better to me than Skull and Bones, better to me than Freemasonry, better to me than, because it exists today. And that is to look up Bohemian Grove. And our job on Decoded every week, History Channel came to me and said, give us your 10 best mysteries, conspiracies, and we'll give you a team to look at them and try and figure them out. And that's what we do every week, Thursday nights, as you know, at 10 o'clock and 9 Central. And when we started looking at this one, we said, okay, what's the best modern secret society? And it really is Bohemian Grove. And as we looked around to say, okay, who's the expert on this place? Who knows and who's been inside? Yours truly, you yourself was the name that kept coming up and up and up. And my buddy Noah is actually one of your biggest fans. He lives in Austin, and he loves you. And he basically was like, you got to talk to Alex. Everyone knew it was a list of one, and you were the guy who got inside and took the footage. So, for the people who are listening, you're going to see not only the voice of Alex, you're going to see him running around with our team, who goes out there in the field and tries to get back into Bohemian Grove. And it is, I think Alex, was had to be at least one of the best adventures you had this year.
Now, you told me during the break, you're not sure yet what the final cut is even going to be, because that's how it works with the production crew. How much can we talk about with what happened there and History Channel not wanting folks to see my footage inside?
No, what happened was, it's not that they're killing. They would love for everyone to see it, and we put the whole episode together and cut it together with your footage in there. You see everything that happens with you. You see, you guys trying to get in. You see, I don't want to ruin the episode, but I will tell you, you'll see some of the team go into jail. I'll leave it at that, and we'll let people see how it happens. But what happened was, I actually recorded the full version, with the footage. And history wants it to go because it's the best footage. Let's be honest, right? It's incredible. The problem is that the footage was, and I know you know this as well, but the footage, because of California's hidden camera laws, there are legal issues about airing what they consider still to be obtained with a hidden camera.
But this is 10 years old. I don't think that law is retroactive.
I couldn't tell you. I actually don't know the law about it. But I know
also, this was an event with hundreds of world leaders setting policy secretly. They admit that in the Lakeside chats. So I think the lawyers are wrong, but I know they're erring on the side of caution.
Yeah, they're erring on the side of caution. The good news is there's no hiding what happened. To make sure, I was so determined to make sure that the footage be seen, that what I do, and I know this is in the show, is no matter what, if the footage isn't in there, is I actually physically described everything that's in the footage you gave us. So there's no hiding, what happened or what the owl or what he says.
I'm told they did incredible. I heard they did incredible storyboards.
Is that what they did? They actually did storyboards?
That's what I was told, yeah.
Oh, good. I hope so, because what they did is they were like, I knew that they delayed the episode from running because they were fighting to make sure the footage gets in there. And I kept saying, listen, if you don't have the footage, you lose the best part of the show, because when people see it, it blows your mind, right? It's like, you go, what is that? And that was my favorite part is watching that footage, because you're like, oh my gosh, is that Walter Cronkite's voice coming out of a giant owl? And I said to them, can you guys do, whether it's animation or some other way around it? So if they did storyboards, that would be even better. I actually will tell you, I 100% recorded, in case everything went to pot. I physically described it on air so that we didn't lose that. And
well, also, we've got the people going to jail. So there's all that new incredible stuff.
Oh, you see everything. Oh, yeah, there's no hiding it. I mean, that's what the best part of the episode, and this I have seen, I've seen the footage, is when you guys try and get inside and what happens as a result. It is on camera, and you see everyone. And the good part is you even see the Bohemian Grove guy who tries to first turn you away. I guess he signed, he amazingly signed the release so that when he sees you the second time, even though you know he doesn't want to be on camera at that moment, he's on camera.
Well, to be clear, the day before I got there, or the day I got there, they went to the front gate. He came up. They videotaped him. He's the head of security. He signed the release. Then the next day, we go up from the river, and then that was a whole other issue. But that's coming up Thursday
you'll
evening.
See the whole thing. Yeah, it's good stuff, man. You're gonna. I think people are gonna go like, wow, that's spectacular. And it's not. It's right there, right at the front gate, right on the river. You see everything, and you see him coming out of jail, and you see Buddy. I mean, it's amazing footage, and it's amazing that they caught it all on tape.
Absolutely. Now, I haven't seen the footage. Is my escape jumping in the river on there?
I saw your escape. Your escape is awesome. You move fast for a man of such young age. I was impressed. It was pretty impressive. The funniest part of the whole thing is that if they want to get anyone right there, you're the one they want to nab. You're the guy who gets away, which is just again incredible to see it all play out. But I saw everything in the clip that I saw. You see everything, and I think the only question is can you once the laws get broken, how much of it you can show? But you see everything leading up to it. I saw the footage of you actually getting away. I actually don't know. Again,
well, I must have looked like a total clown, though, because the canoe company made me wear the, quote, waterproof baggy clothes, and then they weren't waterproof. All the water went down, and so it was all hanging, like 5-6 pounds of water off of me, and I'm just hightailing it. But we've only got about 8 minutes left with you, and Brad, promise me that sometime in the near future I can have you for a full 30 minutes or so we have more time.
Listen, we should talk about it because it's fun, and I want to talk to you. I want to hear what you think of the episode, so we should definitely talk again.
Absolutely. Now, listen, I told folks that I went out to California, and I said it was Bohemian Grove, but I said I'm not getting into anything that happened, and I said they seem like good folks, and it seems like it's going to be fair. Then you're in USA Today, and we'll put the photo up on screen, saying I'm part of the secret circle, or I'm part of the inner circle, and you're doing this Masonic hand sign in front of a temple, a Masonic temple, which is the National Archives. You've got the big pyramid behind you, and then I'm like, whoa, what have I gotten myself into? So I'd like you to respond to that.
Yeah, no, the best part of that, I mean, it was great because my wife said, you were making a Freemason pose, and I'm like, I was? Where? And she goes, on USA Today, dummy. I mean, that is just news to me. I mean, anyone who knows me knows I'm not a Freemason. We take our cameras and went, right into Freemason headquarters, and we filmed everything there. We have no problem asking the hard questions. I had no idea. If I were a Freemason, I guess I would know what I was doing, but I had no idea. They just basically said, make a couple poses, try and look calm. They wanted me to sit down with my legs crossed, and so they wanted me to pose in front of the National Archives. My novel's about the National Archives, so of course that's where I was standing. But I love the fact that people think that I'm somehow sending secret messages. Well, perhaps I guess that should be my new goal in life.
Yeah, perhaps USA Today, one of their people was an Illuminist, and they were asking you to do those poses you're saying?
The camera guy just said, just do something different. And I was like, okay, I'll put my hands together. There's one where I'm sitting down and I'm holding my knees. The truth is they just like the picture. I mean, if there is a great conspiracy, these guys are good.
Well, let's expand on that. Then I learned that you've done NPR interviews and others saying that George Herbert Walker Bush was basically the incentive or was involved somehow influencing your new book, The Inner Circle, and that, he's written you little letters and things. I mean, this is the Grand Poobah, one of the Grand Poobahs of Bohemian Grove, and we reportedly has been involved in some of the rituals before. I mean, how did you get to know George Herbert Walker Bush?
I got a letter a couple years ago that said he read my novel, Millionaires, and would I mind signing a copy for me? And you know what? You're the President of the United States. I'll send you a free book. I'll send you a coloring book. I'll send you any kind of book you want, And I was, just being truthful. I never hide my sources. I got a letter from Clinton a couple years back also saying that he liked one of the novels. And when you write novels and you write thrillers, I don't care whatever anyone thinks of them. When the President of the United States says they like your book, that's a cool day. That's a good day of work.
Well, that's like Ronald Reagan endorsing Tom Clancy, and he came from nowhere to being, a guy that's made hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah, I mean, but does that mean George Bush influences? Let's be clear. What happened was I was writing a book. I got a call from the Department of Homeland Security a couple years ago, and they asked me to come in and brainstorm different ways that terrorists could attack us. And what happened was I guess they had seen in my novels I do I reveal a lot of stuff. I show where the secret tunnels are below the White House. I like to go after the truth. I like to find things that are hidden and show them to the public. And I guess they read the novels and said, this guy's research is good. They had me come in, and I was taken by the fact that of all the people they could get, they were taking regular people like myself. And I said, where does that start? And I actually traced it back to, of all people, another president named George Washington. And George Washington, amazingly, had his own personal spy ring. And this spy ring, you sent invisible ink messages. They sent secret coded messages to each other.
Ciphers.
And they were ciphers, exactly.
But he also wrote letters about the Illuminati trying to take over Masonry.
Yeah, he did write about the Illuminati in some of his old letters, and he did, and he actually was a Mason, to be clear. I mean, he was a Freemason. But what was amazing to me is, in this particular case, rather than asking Freemasons, he said, give me regular, ordinary citizens, because in my spy ring, that's who no one will look at. No one will notice them. When you get the military guys, people look for them. And I was so taken by that, I said to George Bush, and I said to my guy in Homeland Security who I was talking to, I said, for my new novel, wouldn't it be cool if you found out that George Washington's spy ring still existed to this very day? And he said to me, what makes you think it doesn't? I said, what are you talking about? He said, think about it. He says, it's George Washington's spy ring. It was one of the great success stories of the Revolutionary War.
Hey, we know Nixon had spy rings. So you're telling me that you've had presidents tell you, hey, wink, wink, they're still spy rings. I mean, I'm not trying to give you the third degree.
No, it wasn't Bush. It was actually a guy, a guy said to me, saying wink, wink, nod, nod, wouldn't it be a cool plot for the book? But here's the thing is, I actually went to former President Bush and I said, is it true, could you have, I said to him, flat out, sir, I said, would it be, for my novel, I'm researching George Washington's spy ring, could it still exist today? And I said to him, in the messages, when every president leaves office, they leave a secret note for the president who follows them. So Reagan left one for Bush, Bush left one for Clinton, Clinton left one, on and on. So I say to him, could you send the secret messages in those notes? And I get an email back that comes from Bush, and it says, the president wants you to see this. I don't know what's attached to it. I open up the document, and attached to the document, Bush has sent me the secret letter that he wrote to Bill Clinton. And Alex, my first thought is, oh, my gosh, he sent me a secret code. There's a cipher. So I start checking to see whether there's Freemason codes in it. I start checking to see whether there's Thomas Jefferson's old code in it. I check to see if every third letter of every word spells out, I hate you, Bill. I'm like, what's the story here? And the truth was, it was actually, I've still tried to crack the thing. If any of your readers, I'll happy to send you the letter if you want to try and crack it. But there's no code in it as far as I can find. It was really just this generous letter saying, I wish you the best of luck. I'm rooting hard for you.
But I mean, obviously, you're charmed, or you've hit the zeitgeist. You got all these presidents writing you, influencing your book, Bush Sr., Skull and Bones, Bohemian Grove, and then, in the headline in USA Today, Brad Meltzer is part of the inner circle. Man, I tell you, I can't wait to have you back up for a longer interview. And you were telling me off air that you think I come off looking pretty good, but you haven't seen the final cut. I'm just certainly holding my breath here a little bit. What time does it air coming up Thursday evening Eastern time on History?
It's 10 o'clock Eastern time, 9 o'clock Central time. But here's the thing, Alex, is if I were If the one guy on the internet who says, man, Brad Meltzer's in with George Bush, if I were in with George Bush, why would I be doing an episode on Bohemian Grove and having you come on?
I was about to say, he may not like that.
That would be the last thing I should write. Isn't that the last thing I should ever do? I mean, you watch, I can tell you one thing. Watch my remarks at the end of this episode. And it ain't a love letter to Bohemian Grove. You're going to see. I mean, I can tell you right now what I said at the end of it, because I'll tell you, I'm not ashamed to say it, is I think, on the episode, you'll see that the three people who are in the episode, they're kind of like, I understand Bohemian Grove a little better now. Maybe we were a little hard on them. But I actually come on the end of the episode, and I say flat out, right to the audience, I say, listen, here's the thing I don't like. I'm going to disagree with my team here, and for one moment say that, what I don't like about Bohemian Grove is simply the idea that some people get more say than other people. And that's not the American system to me.
Sure.
And that's just not, like, I like the idea, our democracy is built by being transparent and being things can be seen, not in any other way. And that smell, I'm not saying it's definitely happening, but that smell that you feel like some people are getting more say than others rubs me the wrong way. And
yeah, well, it's the secret room. And listen, I don't mind being criticized or there being debate. I think that makes a good, informative show. So I got thick skin. I'm a tough guy. I'm just seeing, all these major power brokers that you're involved with that are then involved in Bohemian Grove. We're going to find out. And you know what? I believe your perspective. I believe that you believe this is fair and riveting. And I'm honored to be part of the show. We'll find out exactly what happens Thursday, because even you haven't seen the exact final cut. I know networks tweak things to the very end. It's BradMeltzer.com. The Inner Circle is his latest thriller, already a bestseller. And we'll link this interview up at Infowars.com. And Brad, after I've seen the episode, please come on with us in the next few weeks so we can hash it over, but also talk about some of the other episodes. But thanks for including me.
Yeah, no, seriously, tell your guy. I mean, he has my contact info. I've been straight up with him, and set a time, man, because I think you're going to be really pleased.
Okay, well, we'll Friday call your people and try to set something up next week, Brad. Brad, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the time.
I'll speak to you soon, brother.
All right, there goes Brad Meltzer. I mean, again, the crew all seemed nice. He seemed nice, but there was a few little creepy things going on, obviously, and we'll see what happens. But you can see he's a slick, well-spoken guy, and I don't really watch any television, as folks know. I watch kind of boil downs on YouTube or on the web or what my crew brings me. I watch movies on my DVD player, and that's about it when I jog or when I watch a late-night movie with my wife. But I haven't seen all these promos airing, but I was on a radio interview earlier today, and they were bringing up, hey, we see all over TV with this History Channel promo. So maybe we should go to the Decoded site on history and see the trailer, because I've been told there is one. And I'm sure it'll be the newest thing up there playing, the promo. And let's try to get a little bird's eye view or a snapshot idea, and we'll air it coming up the next hour if we're able to find it, of what's coming up Thursday night, 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. But, I told him no on the Statue of Liberty episode. I said no. I knew they had Mark Dice involved, who I like, but I just said, no, I'm not doing it. No, I'm not doing it. And then they called me and said, please go to Bohemian Grove. And I said, when is the date? And they said, here's the date. And it was like 2 days before I was scheduled and had agreed to speak in Santa Cruz. I tentatively agreed. We were looking at that date, and I said, boom, that's it. I will travel for that. I love doing multiple things, on the same trip. And it was a circus. And I was not going to jail. I had to get back down the coast 100 miles or 90 miles to Santa Cruz to speak to 2 sold-out houses of 800 people per night. And they ended up cramming another 100 in, so it was really about 900 each night, or 1,800 in the 2 speeches I gave Saturday and Sunday evening. And so, boom, I got out of there. But they did not get out of there, and they went to jail. But I didn't trespass. I only went up to the water line.